guys, welcome to my channel. It is September, and you know what makes me very happy now? That I own my time, that I do my thing on my own schedule, and I don't have to go to school. I don't have to go to any college, university. I just do my own thing and I'm done with my degrees. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved that time. It was amazing, and I got such a great experience by studying in different places and different countries even, and I absolutely wanted to achieve that goal, to get that degree. In fact, unexpectedly, I overachieved my goal and I got to study in France, I got to study in America. I think that education is extremely important as long as you know how to use it. That's something really to keep in mind. So today I wanted to tell you more about my experience of education in the United States, what I did, what was my major, what it was, how much it costs, how did I get here, all that kind of stuff, even perhaps comparing with how it is and what it's like to study in Europe. So everything about it today in this video. If you're interested, continue watching. Now, here's a disclaimer. I don't advise or recommend any of these universities. I'm just sharing my path, and if you're at the point of life where you're searching for a university or a program to apply for, just stick around because I'm going to talk about pros and cons of these particular universities and what it's like to study in the US compared to France in general. And here goes the story. Initially, I had to spend here only one semester, and how it happened. I was studying, I was getting my master's degree in Paris in IESA, Institut des Études Supérieures des Arts. I was studying there, and at some point they offered an opportunity to go study overseas as an exchange student. Here's what my path to get a master's degree looked like. After bachelor's in arts and crafts of ceramics completed in Ukraine, I went on getting my master's in France. The university I chose accepted me with one condition. I had to take my program in French and I needed to have B2 level. Now, the only word I knew in French at a time was merci, and it sounded more like merci back then. They gave me 2 years to get ready. I went to Sorbonne University and took Civilisation Française course in French, history and art, and came back in only 1 year. I'm known for not having any patience. I passed le TCF, the TCF test, with a result of B2 C1 level, which means advanced level, and got into my degree in French language. It was really fun. The second year I completed in SUNY Purchase in New York as an exchange student. This one was already in English. And voila! This wasn't it, as I've completed another program at the Appraisers Association of America, and I got my certification as an appraiser, and I keep taking programs and classes and I keep learning. We call it continuing education, and I think it's really important to keep learning throughout your life. But in this video, I'll be talking specifically about college degree. All right, let's go. How easy it is to get into a university? Short answer is everything is easy if you work hard on it. In the US, you have to pass TOEFL to see how capable you are to study in English. For some odd reason, I was accepted without it. I don't even remember why. Perhaps the fact that I was an exchange student played out. I really don't know. To get to Yale or Harvard, you have to be either from very prominent family or be just brilliant. But there are many other universities that, depending on your major, might be just as Great. Also, keep in mind that many universities offer scholarships, meaning that you get to study for free and they also cover your living expenses. What about France? It actually is harder to get in. It's tough to get into a private university, but even more so when it comes to a public one. Generally speaking, if we take out of the list Yale, Harvard, Princeton, European universities tend to bring a higher quality education. The system is more harsh and the bar to pass a degree is higher. Probably the most asked question is how much it costs to study in the US. I got to study for free, but I actually paid my university in France, EUSA in Paris, which is a private university, 8,000 euros per year. Since I was an exchange student, I was still kind of attached to my university in France. That year in SUNY purchase would have costed me about $25,000, even though SUNY is a state university and considered a public college. For instance, you can study in France in public university for $600 a year. This is actually SUNY Purchase campus. So here is academic building, here is the dining hall, and that's actually the, what do you call it, the dormitory, the campus. That's where the students have their rooms. All of these little buildings are the ones where the students sleep. Campus is actually huge. They have their own bus, inner loop, to get from one point to another. Even before my arrival on campus, I made a decision that I want to live in Manhattan and experience the city life. I decided to live off campus just because I wanted to get more of that city life. I wanted to see more people, I wanted to network, I wanted to just see the city life, you know, being in New York and living like in a countryside so far from the city wasn't really working for me. And so for my first semester I rented a room in the Upper East Side. Found it really cheap. In the end it was almost the same price if I were to stay on campus. I had to spend about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, only one way to get to college, and then about 2 hours to get back. But it worked out successfully in the end. I had a great amount of time in college and I enjoyed the city life. There are many famous artists who are actually graduated from SUNY Purchase. For instance, Moby, the musician, Stanley Tucci, you might know him from the film Devil Wears Prada. He also graduated from here. And visual artist Eric Parker. And that's just to name a few from a very long list of creatives who graduated from here. So SUNY Purchase is kind of divided onto few academies. You have Film and Theater Academy, you have Music Academy, you have Dance, and you have Visual Arts. Besides, you also have Arts Management, and that's what I did. My major was Entrepreneurship in the Arts. So Purchase College covers it all the artistic and creative subjects, along with how to manage it and the business of it. And it's a great place to actually be in. If you're going into that creative industry, creative field, that's where all happens. You can meet some great dancers, some great visual artists, you can meet some future great actors. So first thing that surprised me a lot was the fact that I could choose my own classes. Now that wasn't the case back in Paris, because there we had our program, we had it fixed, we had our classes, everyone had the same, there were no flexibility on that. In here, I just had to comply with the certain number of credits that I had to have for my major, and then there was some free space and I could pick any classes I wanted. Now, program approach is dramatically different. Yes, flexibility is king in the US. Of course, you pick your major and you have certain classes, but half of your time can be dedicated to anything you like. you can study physics and pick acting classes on the side. When I was studying, I was loaded with seminars and internships, but I still had to fulfill 2 additional credits for my program. And I took golf. Yes, once a week I was playing golf for my master's degree. Speaking of internship, it was my requirement in order to stay for the 2nd semester as well. Now, I still cannot believe that they allowed me to stay for an entire year as an exchange student. God bless America for the flexibility in education, and my French university, qui s'en fout de where I was studying as long as the tuition is paid. I appreciated, though, how in both universities we valued hands-on approach. Throughout the program, I've got to participate in numerous projects, organized Plate Indie Music Festival in Paris, worked for Auditoire TVWA, organizing a huge event for Criteo, and WISE, World Innovation Summit for Education in Doha, Qatar. Assisted an appraiser and art connoisseur in evaluating works of art in New York, and even got on TV while still completing my degree. This episode was on CNBC channel, and such a fun thing that we got into a same episode with Elon Musk and Mariah Carey, and did an internship at an auction house in the Upper East Side, Manhattan. All that in a period of 2 years in Paris and New York. So guys, if you're looking for a university, please pay attention whether they have this hands-on approach, as experience is what's most valuable in life. No one cares about the theory they taught you. And what's the point of a degree that you can't use? And last but not least, credibility. Which diploma is recognized better, from an American or European university? Honestly, besides an invaluable experience of studying in different languages, traveling, meeting new people, and getting involved in projects and internship experience, I don't even think that piece of paper from either one serves me in any way. I run my own business and making videos for YouTube now, and that piece of paper is sitting somewhere on the shelf. Its only purpose now is to remind of good old times. Voila guys, I hope I didn't destroy your motivation to study one more time. I think education is extremely important, especially if we're talking about professionals such as lawyers and doctors and other licensed professionals. They must have their degrees and a number of years of practice. For any creative and entrepreneurial types, lifelong learning approach is way more important than any useless diploma. Thank you guys for watching up until the very end. Like it, subscribe it. I post a lot of content about personal development and life in the US. And of course, never stop learning. Bye!